Okay, welcome to the last step in the process of writing your body paragraphs. We're at the end, the closing sentence. So you want to end your body paragraphs with a closing sentence, and it's a pretty basic and simple step. It's the easiest sentence to put together other than the topic sentence. I actually would venture to say it's a bit easier than the topic sentence because you've already formulated the topic sentence and you're actually going to reuse your topic sentence to formulate the closing sentence. So once again, here we go. It's the last sentence in the body paragraph. You use your topic sentence to help you formulate this sentence. And there are just a couple of things you want to make sure to avoid. That's just good overall practice for grammar, for proper etiquette for writing these types of sentences. You don't want to start the sentence by saying, these were. Even though you open up a topic sentence with these are or there is, you don't really want to flip it exactly and mimic it exactly in past tense. These were, this was, as you can see, is a big no, 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 no. We don't like this one at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch this over just to make a point for you. I want you to see that we do not do this one. Strike that, okay? As you can see is bad. In conclusion, very immature. We don't do that anymore, okay, guys? We also want to avoid that is why or how. Okay, now you know. Remember, you never talk to the reader directly, so now you know is actually a second person point of view, so that's out. And those were. So anything else that kind of cues off the reader that you're trying to put together a past tense sentence, but you're doing it at a lower level. This is maybe your third, fourth, and fifth grade way of doing it, okay? There is a better way, a more mature sixth grade way of doing it. Something that I want you to really try to practice with this year and get going on, and I'll show you what it looks like below. So once again, let's take a look. Here's what the sentence looks like in action. Okay, I'm going to switch back over to, let's do some pink highlighting in case I got to point some stuff out. Okay, the question once again was, what is a text connection that can be made in the story The Ugly Pumpkin? So this has been our question that we've been working with the whole time. And step by step, we formulated our paragraph with topic sentence, answer sentences. We've got our citations in place, 2 of them to support our evidence that supports our answer. We've put an inference statement in, and now the closing sentence. So the very last sentence, now highlighted in blue, we're going to read through real quick just to remind ourselves of what a good paragraph sounds and looks like, and then we'll finally see the last sentence added on, and we'll analyze that specifically. Okay, so let's follow along. It says, there are several text connections that can be made in the story The Ugly Pumpkin. First connection is that the pumpkin is orange, and as a result, he stands out. This is a text-to-self connection. Having red hair all through life certainly can make a person feel very different from others. Another example can be seen when the ugly pumpkin finally fits in at the end of the story. He is part of the Thanksgiving feast along with other squash and pumpkins. This is a text-to-world connection because squash and pumpkin are traditional dishes served for this holiday meal. In the book titled The Ugly Pumpkin, evidence says, of 100,000 pumpkins, none are quite like me. In the book it also states, at last it was Thanksgiving and I found where I fit in. An inference that can be made is that there are many opportunities to make text connections with the plot of this story. The story titled The Ugly Pumpkin allowed for several text connections to be made. Notice I did put the words allowed and made in bold orange print. I'm going to highlight them in pink for you here, just so they stand out a little bit more. Those are your clue words, your target words, if you will, that do allow us to say that we took the topic sentence and put it in past tense. Let's go back to the topic sentence and just take a look at it to see if we can really break it down. There are several text connections that can be made with the story The Ugly Pumpkin. So I needed to talk about how the text connections can be made with the story. Okay, so I took the title of the story to start my final closing sentence. The story titled The Ugly Pumpkin. What did it allow? Well, it helped us make several text connections. So it allowed, past tense, it already helped me make text connections. And the word made is pretty much the same, can be made, was up here, which means it will be. That's future tense. And made is past tense. So I left out the can and I kept in the made part because that helped me to put it in past tense. So the words allowed and made turned our topic sentence into a past tense sentence. And we left out the word can because can means that it's going to happen. The paragraph shows that it happened, I did it, and now it did happen, allowed. So notice I didn't start the sentence with these were, this was, or as you can see. I just simply began by flipping the topic sentence around and using it to help me put my goal, my task in past tense. You want to maybe start with the title of the book is a great way to approach this. By starting with the title of the book, that can help you. The story titled The Ugly Pumpkin usually works pretty well. Or you want to start with the topic at hand. You could even have started with text connections were made by analyzing the story, The Ugly Pumpkin. So that could have been another version of it. But notice none of those versions were these were, this was. Okay? You want to avoid these starters up here. They all want to be avoided. Okay? So this is what it looks like when you do it correctly. This is what we're striving for. This is the final product there. Okay? Let's practice. I'm going to have you now turn to your little pigs practices and try to add a closing sentence on, and then we'll be writing our paragraphs on the boards and sharing for our last time. It's good to see them over and over because we still want to make sure we're updating, making changes, improving on our practices, and seeing things done well. Okay, guys, see you on the flip side. Good job.